Tuesday night, work is done, can't go out, loo roll's gone, kettle's on, put your kettle on, pencil's out, news is off, got take out, spend all night with good friends, best friends, life drawing till the end, the bitter end. Get your sketchbooks out, everybody's drawing, that's what it's about. Quarantine is boring, get your sketchbooks out, lock down life drawing. Ooh! Ow. Get your sketchbooks out, everybody's drawing, that's what it's about. It's what it's about. Quarantine is boring.
Quite boring.
Get your sketchbooks out.
I got my sketchbook out.
Lock down life drawing.
Hello, welcome to the show. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hope you're well, staying safe. It's crazy times. What did I want to say? That's it. Let's use this time for some drawing. Let's get together. Let's do some practice. No pressure. Just go into it. Just have some fun. Okay? I'm nervous, so let me be nervous for you. Let's just draw. Let's just have fun. Important things. Give it a go. Doesn't matter. Okay? Get that sketchbook out. Terry, I'm looking at you. Get it out. Not just that glass of wine. Get the sketchbook out. Let's do this. I'm looking at my list on the wall. Right, yeah, let's jump into the schedule. Tonight's schedule. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to do some warm-up poses. We've got 5 warm-up poses, nice and quick ones, 2-minute ones, and swimming in brackets. More about that later. Pose 6, 7, and 8, we're just getting a little bit longer on the time. Tips. I'm going to share some tips. Have maybe some questions and work on our drawing. Then we're going to take a tea break. Most important thing. Hopefully my dad's going to come up and give me a cup of tea and some cake. I hope you've all got some supplies. Artist spotlight. Right, this is brilliant. Okay, so friend of mine, Shaun Othen, okay, is going to come on and talk about his work and about how he does it. He's a magician, absolute fantastic work. Really looking forward to that. So that's on a bit later, so make sure you check that out. Then we're going to do a long pose, so a 25-minute one to finish it off. Then view a gallery. Okay, so you can email your images in. There's a link in the description and a link. It will come up on the screen soon, and it's just my email. Send in your images. Okay, sign them with your name. Send them in, and we'll get them in the viewer gallery, and we can see all your work on stream. It'd be brilliant. Then, if we've got time, we're going to do a little bit of chit chat. So we've got a Discord channel you can join, or I'll just be taking questions in the YouTube chat. And that's it. Yeah. So here we go. Let's get to it. Get your sketchbooks out, everyone. Pose 1. Right. Okay. Swimming. Hey. This is fun. Right. Get your sketchbook. Get your pencil. Now, why are we doing swimming? So we'd never be able to see this in a real life class, or maybe, I don't know, maybe some sort of, the tank with the shark in it, maybe, I don't know. But I thought, seeing as we're doing seeing as we're doing it online, let's make use of that medium, and let's just get some crazy images. Also, another thing to note, we can't do nude photos, so we've got fairly clothed models so that we don't get blocked from YouTube. So if the stream goes down, maybe we showed a little bit too much bum, and that's it. Sorry, YouTube. Also, there's no music, so you're just gonna have to listen to me droning on, or you can tune into the official playlist that I've got in the description, or put your own music on. Enjoy. This is your time to relax. So swimming. What's the swimming warm-up about? Not just the images, but I want you to start swimming. Okay, everyone, get up. Okay. Normally, when we draw like little handwriting tasks, and we go to this straight away. This pose with the hand. Okay. Hold your pencil whichever way you feel most natural to you. I like to hold it like this. Okay, so we've got a nice, good flow. But also, get your whole arm moving. Okay, I don't know which hand you draw with. Okay, I draw with my right hand. Get that swimming motion, and the reason we're doing this is because we want to draw from our shoulder. Okay, our shoulder, our elbow, and we don't want to just be drawing small little circles. We want that whole motion and some real nice energy in our drawings. Okay, so let's get to it. We've got 2 minutes on this one. Okay, I hope you're following along. Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Brilliant. Okay, 2 minutes. Timer starting now. Okay, let's do it. So, drawing from the shoulder. Well, this is crazy. I've never drawn someone upside down before. Okay, let's do this. This is very, very trippy. Okay, in these quick ones, you've only got 2 minutes, so it's really not about creating your best drawing. It's just a bit of practice, a bit of pencil to paper. Okay. Someone once said you've got 10,000 bad drawings in you, so let's get some of them out of us today. There we go. Got a little bit of her arm. Hope you're drawing along and not just lurking. I will be able to tell. Okay. Well, not sure it looks like anything. That's great. Okay, just loosening up. There we go. Right. Am I going to attempt to draw a hand? No. Okay, couple more seconds. I'm going to swap colour, do the next one on the same page. So, pose 2. Are you ready? Go. 2 minutes. See if we can relax into this. So just breaking it down into some simple elements. So don't forget, I want to see these. Send them in, maybe when we have a tea break. And even your quick ones, okay? I want to see these. They should have a little bit of energy to them. You know, some people say that their quick ones are sometimes their favourite drawings of a night. Whenever we do live drawing. Even if there's only a few lines that you're happy with, that's great. Just enjoy that. Okay, coming to the end. Last few marks. Let her go up and catch your breath. Pose 3. Let's do it. What do I got? Another red one. That's it. No chatting in the comments. Just focusing on the drawing. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right, this is a difficult one. I want to give a big shout out to my family in America, Brussels. Really sad we couldn't make it out to see them this last few months. Sending lots of love. And I'm sure we'll be out there soon. She's just been shot, hasn't she? Fallen into a pool of sharks. Some sort of John Wick Bond film. Maybe we can draw a bad shark there. A fat shark coming to attack. Ah! Right. Last few seconds. God, I've made a mess. This is great. Okay, next one. Pose 4. There we go. She's just about to take off. So I haven't given you time to change paper. So just go over the top of the other drawings. Sorry about that. That's it, another minute left. Do you feel like you're loosening up? Do you feel like you're warming up? Oh, nice. Don't forget them bubbles. Hey. That's it. Okay. Where are we? Pose 4. I'll give you a moment now in case you wanted to change paper or just catch a breather. I'm going to swap page. And get out some charcoal. Here we go. Okay, ready? Pose 5, last of the warm-ups. Okay, so nice and quick. Remember, don't worry too much. Let's just get something on the paper. Okay, here we go. 2 minutes. Hopefully that's not too much bum for YouTube. Oh, our timer's escaped. Look at that. I don't know how it got over there. God, these are shocking. Not yours, yours are great. Just taking a line for a walk over the page. Last few seconds, maybe we can get a little bit of shadow in. That other hand. There we go. Okay, so end of the warm-up. Hopefully you've made some mess and got yourself ready. Okay, who was swimming? Who was using their shoulder? Okay, remember that throughout this. Try and use your whole arm. Okay, when you're drawing. Right, just take a little breather. What have we got up next? Pose 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're going to go to 5-minute one. So we need some new paper. And how did it go? Last one pretty tricky. Yeah, it was. Okay, this is pose 6. Nice easy one. Okay, I figured we would tone it down a little bit, spend 5 minutes on an easier pose. Okay, and just before we get started, I want to show you a few things. Okay, so who's heard of negative space? I'm sure a lot of you, maybe. Negative space. Let's look at the negative space of this pose, as you can see here. Okay, so this is basically, we're looking at the area around the model and not the model itself. Okay, so it's making this really quite interesting silhouette on the page. So this is kind of what I want you to think about, sorry, on this pose, because it's creating a nice sort of sculpture shape, and we'll bring the pose back. So trying to think past the figure, okay, around the figure, and hopefully these shapes. Well, I don't know what I'm pointing at. these shapes will help you see the edges and add a little bit of accuracy to the drawing this time. Okay, and then there's another thing. We can use a little bit of measurement. Okay, so if that's the size of her head, okay, between them two yellow lines, we can mark that out on the paper first of all. So you can mark out a similar distance on your paper, and then we can go further down the body. So we know one head, two head to about the middle of her what's that called? A bicep. We'll go with that. And then the last line there, it's not really lining up with much. Maybe our hip, but in between that third head there, that third head measurement, we know that there's the line that starts this cloth, this shawl type thing. Okay, so we can use their measurements to get started. So should we start with their measurements? So let's do 4 lines evenly spaced across the page. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's not quite evenly spaced, is it? There we go. 4. Okay, I'm going to try and use that now to place my drawing on. Okay, so I'll get rid of the lines for now. I'll bring them back in a minute. We've got 5 minutes. Off you go. Okay, so thinking about the negative space and also their measurements that we've set ourselves. This is a positive space. Fantastic, Jim. Or JM Weeds, sorry. I've got a little spelling mistake in my email. 2 S's in bustle. Okay. When you're sending your work in. Okay, let's get started. I've missed 30 seconds. Okay, so the first head is going in here. Multicolour biro will do, Elliot. That's absolutely fine. Do all the colours at once. Go on. I want to see that. Three minutes left. We don't give you much time, do we? So now thinking of that negative space. Okay, I'm gonna drag that down here. So you've got that on your mind. That block up here where the hand is sort of connects to the face. And then the back of the head, there's something going on there with ponytail or a bun, that's what it's called. I didn't say bum. YouTube, keep us online. Okay. Needs to be a bit wider, I think. And okay, where was that line? Okay, let's put them lines back on. So in the center here of this third section was the line for the shawl type thing. Okay, and then a little bit higher up for that elbow. Right, let's try and put on some details. Try and get the spine flowing down the back. Just want to give a shout out to everyone from Hullbridge Life Drawing. Miss you lots. Hope you're safe and well. We'll be back soon, I'm sure. Everyone at Create 98. Miss you too. We've got some fantastic online workshops on Create 98. Go and check them out on Instagram. Okay, 20 seconds left. Let's chuck some shadow in. Oh, little mistake there. I've run out of time. That's it, guys. Okay, so another quite quick one. How did you get on? Let's take away them lines. Okay, check your negative space. How did you get on? Let's rub out them lines that we started off with. And maybe we can, with a rubber, just fix the space, the outline of the figure, just a little bit. It's not within the time. It's okay. There we go. Okay. How's everyone going? Brilliant. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you here. Brilliant. Glad you managed to find that fix. I think, yeah, it's not quite there, my one. Maybe it needs to, I don't know, something. But I'm happy with it for a 5 minute. I hope you are too, with yours. Let's move on to pose 7, new page. Just gonna grab a sip of water. Okay, pose 7. Now, this guy's cool. Right, we have got a really nice image here. So a little bit closer. So we've got maybe some more detail and things that we can play with, and some brilliant shadow, some brilliant lights and darks. This is exactly what you want to look for in a drawing reference. You've got fantastic shadows here. You can clearly see them shapes. And just to, if anyone doesn't know what I mean by shadow shapes, I'm just going to put a little overlay on now, just to highlight that. So these black areas, okay, they're the shadow shapes. This is that you can you can clearly see some kind of abstract, forms here, abstract shapes, and we're going to aim for that first of all in this drawing. Okay, I want you to block in these abstract shapes. Okay, if you're using a pencil, it might be hard to block in. I'm going to be using charcoal, but if you're using pencil, you can outline them shapes. Okay, so for example, this V that's going over his chest, okay, you can outline that as a shape, okay, and then later on come in and fill it in. With the charcoal, I'm going to be using the side of the charcoal, and I'm going to be going directly in to try and get that shape, okay, for better or worse. Let's do this. Let's have a go. Okay, taking away that overlay, putting on the timer. Good luck, everyone. Naomi's running out of sketchbook. Oh no! Draw over your drawings. Draw on the back. Okay, let's get started. 10 minutes. Brilliant. Okay. I'm gonna stop looking at my hand on the screen. I've got to look at the picture. Okay. So trying to block in shadow shapes. Drawing quite small, smaller than usual. I'll try and fix that for the next one. Okay, so blocking in them darks. So there's shadow under the lips, shadow under the top lip, shadow under the nose, casted, and in, try not to make him look like an unsavory character, and shadow in these areas, what are they called? Eye sockets. There we go. Right. Okay, so I've gone for the shadow. Oh, we've got quite a lot of time on this one. I was panicking. Not to worry, guys, we've got it. Okay, I think I need to change up. Let's change up to another piece of charcoal. Hi Sue, good to see you. sense, a bit more sense of these shadow shapes, just on a smaller scale now. Okay, so still thinking of the same thing. Quick shout out to the Reading crew. I doubt Reading will be on this year, but I'm sure I'll see you. Hope you're drawing along and enjoying. Okay, where's this ear? Okay, a thing with ears, really important that they are in the right place and they're lining up with the right things. Okay, because an ear can really make or break a head. Okay, you know, even if I put my ear up here or just down here a little bit, it would skew the angle of the head. So have a look at what it's going to line up with. In fact, I've got some lines to have a look. So the top of the ear, sort of the middle of the forehead, bottom of the ear, oh, okay, middle of the nose, maybe just around there, and also quite interestingly the shoulder. Okay, so middle of the, oh, I'm moving the wrong thing. There we go. Top of the ear, bottom of the ear. Have a look at what it lines up with, and put your ears on, or the ear. So middle of the forehead, and okay, we got a problem. So I need to bring my shoulder up quite a lot to match that point of the face. There's the bottom of the ear. Whee! Snapped. Two minutes left. Quick shout out to Ryan and Amber in Milton Keynes. Ryan's my oldest friend, and he used to have a show called Shout Out, actually on Facebook, I think it was. And he is no doubtly an inspiration for me doing this. So thank you very much, Ryan. I miss you loads, and I hope you're enjoying. Okay, let's look at the shadow of this. I feel like his face is too long and not sort of wide enough. Maybe I've brought this down a little bit too much. A little bit of reflected light under the chin. Okay, 1 minute left. Looking here, I'm looking here at the armpit, seeing what does it line up with. 15 seconds. Blimey. Okay. I think that's about it, guys. How did you get on? Great. Pose 7, done. Well done, everyone. Won't be sending me this one. Oh, I'm sure it's great. Come on, send them in. Send them in. Remember, jakebustle.art@gmail.com, but Bustle's got 2 S's, okay? I messed up on the address there. Can't even spell my own name. Face was a challenge. Yeah, it really was, actually. Hopefully focusing on them darks helped you out. I drew an alien. Fantastic. Well done, Lucy. Oh, a quick shout out to Lucy. Lucy, for 366 days, she's learning to draw. She's doing a fantastic Instagram account where she's drawing something every day, trying to learn to draw. So go and check her out. She's absolutely fantastic. I love seeing her work. Real inspiration. Right. Okay. Pose 8. Let's do it. Oh, blimey, we're getting through this at a pace. Brilliant. Okay, lovely image. What was my tutorial for this one? Let me remember. Ah, yes. Okay, we were going Pringles can. Okay, so types of shadow. So lovely image here, but if you notice on her arm, okay, not my arm, on her arm, there's some really interesting things happening with the light. So I'm just going to zoom in and show you. So the light source is coming from the left side of the model, and it's hitting her arm, and all of that area to the left side of that core shadow is going to be halftone, and then there's a little streak of highlight going through the middle. Okay, so we can save the highlight right until the end. We can just block in a halftone. Now, really importantly, the core shadow. Okay, this is the point at which the light can no longer get around the arm. Okay, it can no longer find its way around the arm. So it's terminated. It's called a terminator. But also, there's no reflected light at that point either. Okay, so the reflected light, a little bit further along, you've got light bouncing off of her I was going to say jacket. It's not jacket. Bouncing off her skin and the rest of the room, and it's illuminating that area. That's why you're getting that lighter bit there. Okay, so pay attention to these things, these 4 things in this one. Okay, your half tone, so that's like the average tone, your highlight, and save them right until the end. This core shadow, look for that streak running through, that really dark streak. Okay, I've even got a cylinder. Imagine her arm as a cylinder. Okay. Yeah. Don't know what that. It's sort of like a rocket or like a Pringles pop, or maybe an empty loo roll or something like that. But yeah, you can see it there. You've got the core shadow, reflected light. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can use that in this drawing. Okay, so I'm going to give you 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I'm going to use a sanguine pencil. Hope you've got your materials ready. Let's do it. 15 minutes. After this, we'll have a nice little tea break, and then we'll be talking to Shaun Othen. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so. So first we're just going to sketch out and perhaps make note of what's happening in the shadows for later on. So by make note, I mean, you can outline an area of tone. and then you know it's there for later on when you're going to be shading the whole thing in. Okay. So thinking of them other things, try and line things up. So I'm thinking, all right, the pit of her arm here is lining up with the ear, so I need to move my arm across. Okay, rubber. It's a bit better. Making note of the core shadow there for later on. I think our arm's a bit long. Let's bring it up a little bit. Oh. So if you make a mistake, not to worry, you know, we're not making works of art here, we're just sketching, we're just having fun. Think of this fabric as a shape, okay, so it's like a sort of a strange rectangle. Math teachers are gonna have a go at me, I'm sure. We're coming up to 10 minutes left. How's everyone getting on? Fantastic. That's what I like to see. No chat, just people drawing. Fantastic. So I've got a rough sketch. Now I'm going to make a bit more sense of where the shadows are, then I'm going to start to block them in. Okay, so rough sketch, great, it's almost like a tracing underneath. Now I can draw with a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more confidence over the top of that. Let's change pencil, keep the pencil sharp. Yeah, I was thinking of you, Naomi, when I was saying maths teachers. Is it math or maths? We've got some Americans in the chat, so I'm sure they'll think differently. Okay. So these lines are slightly improving with a little bit more time spent on them. When you're drawing cloth or clothes, try and notice where they pinch together, so all the lines sort of lead to one point. Can be quite useful. Faces are always tricky, especially when they're small. Little tip is to try and draw as little as possible on the face. Okay, so just if you can describe something with a few marks, try and do that. You know, try not to outline absolutely everything. You know, just a few little marks should be enough. Okay, I think I'm going to start putting in, smudged a lot, I think I'm going to start putting in the shadow now. So we've got just under 5 minutes, so I've marked out kind of a map for myself, you know, a blueprint of where my shadow should go. Now let's put them in. Let's have a go. Bit like paint by numbers, this bit. Quite fun. You can relax. I'm going to put this whole area in tones. I want to pick out highlights later on with the putty rubber. This is all in shadow here. A lot of high contrast on this fabric. It's quite shiny, so try and get your darks and your lights quite strong. You know, got a lot of high contrast in there. Okay, got some shadow, cast shadow. Two minutes left. Then we can get a nice cup of tea. Okay, so thinking of that cylinder, I've got that core shadow running down the arm. Then this area of reflected light. One minute left. Hey G, good to see you. Get that sketchbook out, boy. She looks like Zoidberg here, doesn't she? Need to sort out that hand. Last few seconds. Oh. Okay. We're gonna have to leave it there, guys. How did you get on? Oh, it looks a bit murky. Missed a bit of dark there. And here. How did you get on? Right, send me your artwork, okay? I want to see it. I'm gonna take a little tea break, which probably means, using the toilet. But I'm going to take a tea break. Send me your artwork in. Okay, remember my email is jakebussell.art@gmail.com. Send me your pictures, sign them so we know who's done them, and we'll have a look in the second half. When I come back, we're going to talk to Shaun Othen. Okay, it's going to be fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to have a cup of tea. A cup of tea and a slice of cake. Hey! Alright, guys, I'll be back in 5. Take a breather. See you in a minute.
Kettles on. Put your kettle on. Pencils out. News is off. Got take out. Spend all night with good friends. Best friends. Life drawing till the end. The bitter end.
Get your sketchbooks out. Everybody's drawing. That's what it's about. Quarantine is boring. Get your sketchbooks out. Lock down life drawing. Ooh. Ow. Get your sketchbooks out. Everybody's drawing. That's what it's about.
It's what it's about.
Quarantine is boring.
Quite boring.
Get your sketchbooks out.
I got my sketchbook out.
Lock down life drawing.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Part 2, I guess. Hope you had a nice little break. Lemon drizzle was lovely, thank you Dad. Right, really excited for this bit. We're going to take a look at Shaun's artwork. Okay, so Shaun Othen, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to give him a call right now and see what he's got to say for himself, I guess. Let's have a chat to an amazing UK figurative artist. Here we go. Just going to call him up. Hope this works. Boom, ba-da-boom. Here we go.
Hi Jake, you alright?
Hey Shaun, you're live.
I'm live! Oh good lord!
53 viewers. Hey.
53, oh that's fantastic, it's going well then. Very good. I have been
ask
watching.
them. Yeah?
I thought you've done a sterling job, yeah, very good indeed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Unfortunately not taking part though. I wish I'd have brought my stuff home now. As I watched you do it, I felt that urge. Great reference shots.
Yeah, they're good ones. Yeah, bring your stuff home next week and give it a go.
I will do, without doubt.
So Shaun,
Yeah.
I'm going to put a little gallery of your work up, and I guess we're going to have a little chat about you as an artist. So here we go.
Okay.
I've got a few questions for you. Right, how is life in lockdown for you at the moment? How is it doing?
Is it terrible to say that it's not bad?
Oh. Yeah, explain.
I'm getting that. Well, I've got time off work, so I'm literally throwing myself into drawing.
Fantastic.
Which I would not have had the chance to do. So if anything, it's allowing me to do something that I've been chasing for quite a while now.
Brilliant.
So I'm starting to build up a little body of work behind me, which is thanks to this, in some small way. Obviously we're only 2 weeks in, aren't we? Really? Well, not even 2 weeks in. So how that's going to be, a couple of weeks down the line, I've no idea. But at the moment, it seems all right. It's giving me the opportunity.
Brilliant. Yeah. No. Good. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're getting some work done. I'm glad that's happening. I'll be honest. I've been stressing about this stream, so I haven't done any drawing. But I'm hoping that now I can relax and do some drawing. And I hope our viewers are managing to find some time for a bit of creativity too.
Yeah, too right. Yeah, absolutely.
So Shaun, where are you from? How long have you been drawing? And did you study art?
I'm from Chesterfield in Derbyshire.
Cool.
I've always drawn, ever since I was a kid. Always. It would have been Star Wars vehicles and bits and pieces when I was younger in the late 70s. But I've always drawn. And then when I was in the early 20s, I got a place at Falmouth Art School studying illustration, which I did for 2 years. That were a totally business-minded course. So at the end of it, we were touted around London with our portfolios, and I quite luckily got an agent and started working. And I did so for about 5 years doing book jackets.
Fantastic.
My claim to fame is I was in the Woman's Own.
Sorry, what was that?
Illustrating the story in the Woman's Own.
No, it's great. And so you had like a great opportunity there to really hone your skills, that industry work.
Yeah, exactly. It gave me 2 years without any external pressure. You know, there were no working or anything. So it allowed me, pretty much like this is doing now, it allowed me to concentrate on what I was doing. You know, there were no sort of formal teaching that went with it, but all it did, it just gave us the time to focus on it. And of course, you're in a classroom with a lot of other artists, people with different experiences, and you all kind of draw off each other. Mm-hmm. And it worked well. It worked well. There was a definite difference, you know, from when I went into that process to leaving. The standard of work that I was producing after was markedly different. Did
you find that you learnt more at the college or in work? Do you think?
No, not at all. I don't really think we were taught anything in particular, really. Yeah. I did do a few demos. I mean, I was an oil painter, so I went into sort of quite realistic oil painting, and that's something that we kind of did ourselves. You know, by looking at other people's work, a lot of artists like Singer Sargent and people like that we were, you know, very admiring of, and you just try and emulate it. You know, we weren't taught anything in particular other than maybe how to handle the medium. But other than that, it was just the time, the practice, and the will to do it more than anything.
And I noticed that you've recently sort of decided to work almost exclusively in charcoal. What made you make this move? And how are you finding it?
I love it. I love charcoal. I always thought it was it weren't for me at all. The finish that I saw in a lot of charcoal pieces didn't really appeal to me. But then I started looking at the likes of Zinlin and Xiaoming Wu, and they got a different finish on their charcoal work. And for me, I wanted something that could effectively reproduce flesh, but quickly. Mm-hmm. After years of working in oil, and maybe a painting would take 2 weeks, I just couldn't face that process anymore. I wanted something quick.
No, I'm the same. Impatient artists, you know, you want to see the results.
Also, it's the pressure, you know, over the 2 week period, the pressure that will be put on me, particularly with commercial work, would be tremendous. You know, because one slip up and, you know, you're 2 weeks down the drain, really. Whereas now I prefer something that I can sit down, 2 hours, done, finish, never return to. I'm not a big fan of returning to work. You know, so you finish it and then you come back the following day, which you have to do with oil painting, particularly well finished oil painting.
It's that,
and I don't want that anymore. And charcoal really manages to capture and almost painterly feel anyway. So
you certainly do with charcoal.
It's my love at the moment. It is my love without any doubt.
I know a lot of people fear charcoal. What would you say to people that are, you know, afraid of getting into it?
Yeah, there's nothing to be afraid of. Don't be tentative with it. I think that's the big thing. Just don't be tentative with charcoal. Go in hard with it. It's dry powder. It comes off.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nothing to be fearful of. Mistakes are rectified. You know, I mean, when I initially start a piece, you know, as you've done, you know, mastering your black spot, I go at it hell for leather. You know, and none of it really matters. It comes off with a touch of your thumb or a bit of tissue, putty rubber. You know, any mistakes that you've made can be rectified on the fly. So there's no need to be fearful of it at all. None of it's set in stone. None of it. Until it's actually finished and fixed, none of it's set in stone.
And just a few comments in the chat, just talking about the energy that your work has got, and definitely the texture. You know, what are you kind of thinking, and how are you achieving that texture in your work?
Well, a lot of it's the paper. You know, the choice of paper. I use Strathmore 400 medium tooth, and that literally does the job for you. You know, if you, I mean, my sort of technique is I'll mask the darks in, and then I'll work from those darks with either my thumb or fingers, but majority with a bit of tissue.
Right. Yeah.
And if you work from that dark and just sort of slightly press that tissue out from that dark, you get a really smooth gradation, and the tooth of the paper gives it a porous look anyway, so it looks like flesh immediately.
Lovely, yeah.
And it's so I would say that's really the way. The paper is a great help. Some of the textures you get, the side of the charcoal very lightly sort of touched against that tooth will also give you some nice texture. But there's a lot of different ways of doing it.
And are you sort of going in darker and then pulling out with a putty rubber?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I go in, as I say, quite hard with it. So the dark areas I identify straight away, and I go in as hard as I can with those darks,
Fantastic.
and then work out from them.
Brilliant.
So yeah, straight in, pitch.
Fantastic, Shaun. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me on. It's magnificent.
Guys. Okay, so Shaun is nearly at 1,000 followers on Instagram, so let's get him there. We've got 60 viewers. Come on, at Shaun Othen. It's Othen, isn't it?
Othen. Yeah.
Very sorry. I'm going to put it in the chat.
I'll respond to anything.
At Shaun Othen. Let's get him there. Okay, Shaun's work is absolutely fantastic. It will inspire you to have him on your feed. And Shaun, am I right in saying you're thinking of setting up workshops when all of this is over?
I'm open to, yeah, if I can, once all this has died down and done and dusted, and it's me getting my head around how I would actually show someone how to do what I do, because a lot of it's quite instinctive. But the idea is really eventually to maybe start setting up some workshops if people are interested in that kind of thing.
Well, definitely. Can see that some viewers in the chat are interested. I'm definitely interested. I'm going to be there. Sorry, the paper again. That was Strathmore 400, was it?
Strathmore 400 medium tooth.
Brilliant.
Yeah, probably the best you can get.
And I know a lot of people sort of invest in different sort of charcoals. What's your go-to brand or go-to thing?
Cheapest you can get. Cheapest. And I know people cry on about nitrum and things like that. I've used nitrum and I'm not a big fan of it at all. I like cheap charcoal. There's a place near me that does like a little student box of it, 70 assorted bits for like £3.
Love it.
And I use that, and all my work's done with that. I absolutely love the odds and knob ends, nib ends and things like that. Just
We're on YouTube, Shaun. Keep it to a minimum.
yeah, sorry, the nib ends and things like that, just the little stubs. They're perfect.
And
you don't
the
need
charcoal
to spend a lot on it.
You get this natural kind of charcoal. You get it different blacks, don't you? You get the different colours and different things coming out.
Yeah. Some are,
so it surprises you.
You're really extra soft pieces, and you get an absolute midnight black.
Brilliant.
And some of them are a bit more grey. You get a nice sort of variation of tone in there. So yeah, I would go cheap.
Go cheap,
with it.
but invest in paper. That's the
invest
thing,
in the paper. That does the job for you. So
brilliant.
Buy well with paper, but cheap charcoal every time. And tissue, just a bit of tissue. Done.
I love that idea of blending with tissue. I need to experiment with that. Thank you, Shaun.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Have a great week. Good luck with your works, and I'll speak to you soon.
Same to you, Jake. Thank you very much for having me on, mate. Cheers.
Thanks
Best
a lot.
of luck with it all.
Good night. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Good night.
Thanks, Shaun. Okay, that was fun. Never done that before. Thanks, Shaun. That was brilliant. Some really good comments. Right, let's change. There we go. Hey. Lovely. So I'm sure you'll agree. Shaun's work is phenomenal. So I've put it in the chat. I'll put it in the description. Follow Shaun. Give him some love. And maybe watch out for them workshops. I know I'll be there. So let's jump on to our final pose. Last pose. We've got a 25-minute pose. Hello. 25-minute pose. Okay, great reference image here. Let's just show you. We've got two light sources. Okay, so primary light source coming from the left down onto the model, onto the figure, and a secondary light source just having a little bit of edge light from the right. Okay, so just bear them in mind as we draw this. Okay, and I think we can definitely take some inspiration from Shaun's work for this one. Okay, so perhaps massing in them darks early on. Let's enjoy the last pose. Thank you so much for joining me. After this, we're going to take a look at your work, so please keep sending it in and have a little chat with our viewers. Right, so 25 minutes. Let's do this. Gonna take away that timer on. Brilliant. So we've got a little bit more time again. So you might want to do a bit more sort of preliminary sketching and drawing out. His head's at a little bit of an angle. God, how do I follow Shaun's work? That was great. That's it, cup of tea down, back to the sketchbook. Normally I'd be ringing my, I can't say anything without it sounding like a euphemism. Ringing my tambourine, I actually do have a tambourine, to get everyone back in the life drawing class, back sketching. Get away from them cakes. Okay, so it's really nice, strong, poignant shoulders. Trying to think about the form underneath his body too, so underneath the skin. As I'm sketching, gone a little bit wide on that side. Really just taking the line, taking the charcoal for a walk over the page and trying to separate light from dark. Don't know if you've seen my portrait video where I drew Admiral Picard, but a lot of that was just separating light from dark and then coming in with the charcoal afterwards. God, my guy looks more built, doesn't he? He looks a lot stronger. I think I need to make less of the chest. Bring this up. Not sure what's going on. Let's just sketch it in. Make sense of it later. So guys, if you're able to type, please let me know where you're from, where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know. And don't forget to send this image in to jakebustle.art@gmail.com, and there's 2 S's in Bustle. Remember that, I made a mistake on my email. Never been good at spelling. Let's regroup. What's the game plan here? What we're trying to work out. Oh, right, we wanted to go in for the darks, didn't we? Okay, let's snap a bit of the charcoal. And have some fun with the darks. Just want to note the features. Okay, let's go in now with the charcoal. So we've got that secondary light source coming from the right, but it is still a lot darker than the left side of the face, so make sure you're blocking in with darks. If anyone wants to say hi at the end of the stream, we've got a Discord channel. I've got the link for that in the description of the video. You can join the channel on your phone or on your PC, and you can just come and say hi. If you fancy. Running out of charcoal here. I can't type, I'm drawing. Good. Right, let's try it with some tissue paper, kitchen paper. Let's try a bit of Shaun's method. So I think I need to go in a lot darker. Lots of charcoal on the page so that I can then drag it with the tissue paper. Let's try again. Oh, getting that kind of effect. Really softens everything up. It's very nice. Melbourne, Australia. Hey, nice to meet you. Fantastic. We've got quite a few people from Milton Keynes, which is alarming. Yeah. Picking out some highlights now with the putty rubber. Whee! It nearly jumped off the page. Right, I'm not following my own advice, am I? I'm not saving that right until the end, so I'm going to save the highlights. Blur them back in. "45 pieces of artwork sent in. Brilliant. Fantastic. Is it an owl? Step 1 of drawing an owl. Step 2 of drawing the owl. Draw the owl. Okay. Let's go back to the darks. Go back to what we know. Go back to our safe place. Putting in darks. If anyone's wondering what this is a blending stump, and it can be useful for lightening an area, but not lightening it too much, as the putty rubber would take up too much charcoal. I want to give a big thanks to my brother Max for helping me set up this stream. Absolute legend. He makes guitar videos. He helped me with the theme tune. He makes guitar videos over on Instagram. Guitar sponge glazing, would you believe it's called? But yeah, go and check that out. Should we put in this background maybe? Yeah, there's an Ariana Grande song about that, isn't there? Thank you, Max. Trying to get some texture. Nice bit of peace and quiet. Bit of drawing on a Tuesday. Fantastic. Right, we're coming up to 5 minutes. So just take a step back from your work, or if you can't step back, just have a look, okay? And squint your eyes, okay? And see if you can, see if your tones are correct, okay? So see if your values are correct on a scale of 1 to 5, perhaps, okay? So squint and look at the image on the screen, and then look at your drawing. And so mine, for example, I know I need a lot more shadow in here, okay, and something here, and perhaps this arm could be darker, and this arm, okay. So